Hi, cat. Come and get some mango, baby.
One, two, 1, 2, 3. Self-awareness is a superpower. My name is KathyLaDonna. Welcome to Soul and Vibration. I hope the free thinkers are doing well. And if you're not doing well, I'm happy to remind you that you are the most powerful person that you know. You are the most powerful person that you know because only you can create your reality. Hey guys, today is Friday, May 10th, and the energies in the day adds up and reduce to number vibration. If today is your birthday, happy birthday. So today is Friday, and Friday is ruled by Venus energy. And Venus is in the sign of Taurus. Venus is at home in Taurus and pretty much close enough to the sun for a conjunction, less than 10 degrees apart. So when it comes to Venus energy, Venus talks about the things that we value. And with where Venus is sitting, we value our comforts, we value security, we value longevity, we value things feeling safe, even if it's a false sense of security. Venus is in a position where we also value our identity, who we identify as, and the security and the stability that comes with our identity. When it comes to the spirit animal, we are rocking with the fish energy. And when I think of the fish, I think of abundance, I think of birth, I think of new beginnings, I think of, opportunities when I think of the fish. When I look at this fish energy, I'm also seeing, the moon. The moon is standing out to me. And the moon energy brings me to light in the sense that the moon comes out in the dark. So the moon creates an opportunity to see things in places where things are hidden. And with the way the fish card came out, and with the fish also tying into the water element, it brings me to intuition. But the way the fish came out, it's like not trusting one's intuition. And when I look at the energies in the day, I think about moving too fast, because we are in May. May is the 5th month, and the number 5 deals with change, sudden and unexpected change. The number 5 deals with overstimulation, having a hard time being still, or having a hard time implementing order and structure because a constant change in mind or change in attention, or even just the thought of structure feels like prison. And then the energy in the day adds up and reduces to the number 5 energy also. So to me, that energy is on overload. And the number 5 is a telepathic energy. But I feel like with the number repetitive from the month of May and the energies in the day also tying into that with the fish in the reversal position, it brings me to this thought that's coming to mind. I forgot the motivational speaker. It's not Les Brown. Maybe it's Les Brown. I remember watching, or while I was on one of my walks, my hour walks, I was listening to him, and he was talking about the importance of being a good manager, and how in this life, God, universe, creator, whatever you believe, will bless us with opportunities, and how a lot of the times we get lost thinking that we don't have enough money, when it's the relationship we have with money is the real issue. And it's so easy to overlook that and focus on other things when we have to be honest with ourselves. And I feel like when it comes to today's energy, something we could find ourselves acting from impulse, ego and impulse, and then acting from ego and impulse, and then blaming something else on what happened, opposed to being honest with the fact that we just fumbled the bag, or we just blew the opportunity or missed out on the opportunity. I look at how the moon in Gemini is squaring Saturn in Pisces and Neptune energy, which is also in Pisces. And with those energies in Pisces, it brings me to reflection. And also to Saturn and Pisces brings me to boundary, structure when it comes to our imagination. And those energies are squaring the moon in Gemini, but the moon in Gemini is positively aspecting Mercury conjunct Chiron in Aries. So when it comes to the energies in today, I could see how some of us can make an impulsive move or impulsive decision, and depending on how it goes, instead of seeing it for what it is, we find something else to say this is the reason for this or that, when all reality, a lack of order, a lack of discipline, a lack of structure is the reason for why things are the way that they are. When I look at today's energy, it reminds me of like what I struggle with. And I struggle with wanting everything to happen since yesterday. I struggle with instant gratification. And for that, it's like, sometimes I feel like, okay, I'm gonna do this now, or I won't even think it out loud, but unconsciously I think what I'm about to say, because if I didn't, I wouldn't feel disappointed when things don't go my way. So I'll feel like, okay, I put all this work or effort into this thing, and because I put all work and effort, a lot of work and effort into this thing, things should automatically play out the way that I think. And when it doesn't, I might not kick and scream like a child, but on the inside, I'm kicking and screaming and feeling some type of way. And that'll even bring me to like my trading, where how trading was marketed to me as if it was something that's easy and anybody could do it. And I'm sure anybody could do it if they're disciplined. But there's a lot that goes into it, and the lot that goes into it is discipline and self-control. And wanting things to happen overnight, it's so easy to dismiss your discipline and self-control and take random action or radical action as the thought that comes to mind, and then things don't go your way. And it's easy to blame the market and say that, the market is rigged and they're a fraud and this and that. But it comes back to accountability. It comes back to accountability. Did I just do something reckless? Yeah, I was just reckless. So my reckless action got me this result. And, that's hard to admit sometimes. So I feel like today is one of those days where we have to be careful that our ego or impulsiveness or need for everything to happen since last week not cause us to bet the whole house, put the whole house on the line. I know that's a bit extreme, but it just feels like major impulsive energy, major impulsive actions. When it comes to the tarot, we have the 5 of Wands in the upright position. So the 5 of Wands energy brings me to competition. You look at the people in the card and they're all waving their wands in the air. It's like they're competing with each other to me. And the number 5 deals with sudden and unexpected changes. And Wand energy deals with movement, deals with taking action. So it's like there's a sudden and unexpected change in movement, or sudden and unexpected change in the action that you're taking, or how you might be approaching something. But some of the positive aspects of the number 5 for me is, and it's interesting how the 5 of Wands come out with me talking about the number 5 energy, which shows that there's a big emphasis on sudden and unexpected change for today. When it comes to even the 5 of Wands energy and how it looks like those people are in competition, I feel like, I know what's for me or what's for you can only be for you. So if something is for you, then you'll never be called to compete for what's for you. You'll never be called to compete for what's for you. And if ever you find yourself in the position where you feel like someone is in competition with you, you have to ask yourself, what am I trying to imitate that they're also trying to imitate? Why it feels like there's a competition. Because when you're authentically being you, no one can compete with you. They can only imitate you. That means they did it after you. They could only imitate you, but they can't compete with you. So when it comes to today's energy, it brings me to that, where I think of how the moon in Gemini, which is big time social energy, and it's positively aspecting Mercury in Aries. So Mercury in Aries, the mind is focusing on self, my ego, my identity, my image. And with Chiron conjuncting Mercury, it's like, my image is wounded, my image is broken. I think of wanting to do something, or I got a better idea that's crossing my mind. So I think of someone that I know who is talented in a lot of ways. And at some point, this person got into some trouble. And I feel like for them, the trouble that they got into, and it's not major trouble, but got into trouble in their youth that caused them to get into some trouble. And I feel like in their mind, it tainted their image in a way to where they'll find themselves trying to pursue certain glamorous callings or career path to kind of like, to kind of like fix their image, if that makes sense, not realizing that it's all in their head. It's all in their head because nobody cares. So in their mind, they feel like they're tainted because of their experience. They're tainted because of, this thing that happened to them and where it landed them for a period of time. But nobody cares. So because in their mind, like Mercury and Chiron, they feel like their image is tainted to a certain extent. They force themselves to try to pursue these glamorous callings, and not even and glamorous callings. Yeah, these glamorous callings. Like, I think of, say, for example, the person who will try to pursue being a doctor or a lawyer when they're genuinely not passionate about those fields, but because of their insecurities, they feel like those things will clean their image, will clear their image, or will make them worthy. And I feel like that's the same thing with the person that I'm talking about, where it's like this person been through some things, and they were a child, they were, a youth when they went through what they've been through, but they've allowed this thing to stain their mind so much to where they think that people see that when people see them, when they're the ones that need to forgive themselves and release that off of themselves. So to me, today's that day where it's like, with Mercury conjunct Chiron and positively aspecting the moon in Gemini, I see how, some of us can operate from a place of glamorous callings, like the society, social things, influence our decisions, influence our actions. I look at how Mercury conjuncts Chiron is squaring Pluto in Aquarius. Pluto energy is transformative energy. So Mercury, the mind, is in a place right now where it's like, I'm not trying to transform or change. I just want to, focus on my wounds. But it's like, what's the point? Like, I think of how sometimes we could find ourselves dwelling on how bad it is, but don't want a solution, and don't realize we don't want a solution because maybe a solution might take away something from us. And when I look at the fish energy and how it came out in the reversal position, it brings me to the thought of Jupiterian energy, because for me, fish represents abundance and luck and fertility. When in my culture, dreaming of fish represents pregnancy. So that's a new beginning. That's birth of something. So I think of like Jupiterian energy, and with the way the fish came out in the reversal position, I think of Jupiter energy and how it reflects luck. And luck is when preparation meets opportunity. And for me, I realized that opportunities are always present. What's not always present is preparation. And with the way the fish card came out, I feel like the emphasis on today's energy is preparation. Are you prepared? How prepared are you? How prepared are you for what it is that you say you want? And instead of getting prepared, do you find yourself distracting yourself with other things? So this is where we want certain things, and instead of working on getting prepared for whatever it is that we say we want, we take a detour and instead go over there and focus on other things that bring down our vibration and frequency, but it justifies why we aren't where we think we should be. So it's like we're looking for justifications as to why we aren't where we should be, when the time could be used getting prepared. Because I don't believe you have to fight for what belongs to you. What's for you can only be for you. What's for you can only be for you. That's my opinion. But if you feel different, I would love to hear about it. And it was such a pleasure sharing this message with you. Hey guys, I want to share with you 7 benefits of getting a numerology natal chart awareness coaching session. The first one is understanding your internal programming. The second one is becoming more clear about your purpose and passion. The third is setting goals for success. The fourth is awareness of strength and areas of improvement. And the fourth one was foundational for me, because whenever you're aware of your weaknesses, no one can use them against you. And when you're aware of your strengths, that makes you unstoppable. And that is why I say self-awareness is a superpower. The 5th benefit is removing obstacles. We first have to become aware of a thing in order to remove it in the first place. The 6th benefit is understanding relationship dynamics. We don't have to change the people in our lives. We have to become aware of ourselves and start from there, and everything changes. And the 7th benefit is upcoming transits, if that's something that you would like to look into because you're planning for something or you just want to be aware. So if you're interested in booking a numerology natal chart awareness coaching session or learning more about it, the link to book or the link to send me an email for questions are both within the description box below. If you'd like to check out my Patreon, where I share exclusive content, the link to check out what's happening on Patreon is in the description box below. Please let me know you're here with me by dropping me a blue heart in the comment box below. I would love to hear from you and look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Love yourself as if your life depended on it, because it does. Take care of yourself, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.